Hey, sometimes that's the only word you can use to
That's the only
describe.
way. That's really the only way to. Sometimes I get my point across, unfortunately, but it's out of frustration, to be honest.
I don't know what you're talking about. Who's frustrated about anything right now? So, my name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sehon. I am with Swiftfire, swiftfire.org, Swiftfire True TV. And this is a returned guest. This is my third time to talk to David Rodriguez, champion boxer turned revolutionist, activist, patriot, lover of God, truther, all the things. He is just like all over the place and sharing. Thank God he's sharing the truth everywhere he can. And just so happy to have you on here, David.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now, and it's honestly, I used to put out a video once every 3 or 4 days. Now I'm doing it sometimes twice a day because just the information that's coming out is so. There's so much information, so many drops coming out that it's like you lose a couple hours and you're behind the eight ball. Like it's moment by moment right now. That's the way I see it. So it's a real critical time for everybody, especially Patriots. We're under attack, man. This whole our whole republic is under attack, and it's all part of the deep state plan. I mean, it's easy to see. A lot of people can't see that they're just involved in the game. They don't see it from an aerial view, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's very predictable if you really step back and look at what the game that's being played, and you can assess, you can see their moves that they're going to make, and it's. I don't understand how more people can't see this. It's just so obvious to me. I don't understand how people are so blinded to this. I have people trolling me saying, "Hey, we were never in this situation until Trump was president." Exactly, because we're exposing the evils of the other side. This is all a political assassination on Trump. This is all to dismantle Trump, and bring in this, which is not a conspiracy, this new world order, this new deep state demonic agenda that's being played out before our eyes right now.
Yeah, and you mentioned Patriots going down, quote, I guess I shouldn't say going down as much as having to pivot to do something different, but name a few. I know I think you listed, or somewhere I saw something, you and Laura.
Well, yeah, there's been thousands. Yeah,
Thousands.
right. So the reason they're doing that is because I mean the list goes on forever. There's hundreds and thousands of them gone now. And the reason they are doing that, and I have flown under the radar because I don't use hashtags, and I'm trying to grow organically. And a lot of people use hashtags like patriot, using those kind of words, and they go after you for that stuff. So, like even Edge of Wonder got taken down, which was amazing. I couldn't believe that Edge of Wonder got taken down.
Yeah, Awaken Humanity's gone.
Yeah.
Justin's gone. Who
This is
else?
what a threat we are, though. This is how threatening we are to this establishment. So they have to censor us and deplatform us. And it's an agenda. We know what it is. I think it's more of a crisis management move. I think they're so scared. They know where the tide is going, where the trajectory is going. They're doing everything they can to stop us. But it's like plugging the holes of a dam. You know what I mean? They're trying to plug the holes as much as they can, but it's already cracked. It's gonna bust, and we're coming. And I really feel that way. Um, some days I feel pretty heavy and negative about everything, but overall, inside my soul, I feel like we're gonna get this and we're gonna win this. And I think big tech is gonna or it's gonna go down in 2021 with all the lawsuits and everything. It's gonna be like the .com explosion and then implosion. And I think that's what we're gonna look at with big tech. I think Trump's gonna win this, but it's going to be, and all that's going to happen is the deep state's going to expose itself more and more and more and more. And everything they're doing right now is showing themselves. They're showing their cards. They're guilt ridden. And it's just sad more people can't see this for what it is.
Yeah, it's interesting because I just did an interview a few minutes ago with former representative of the House here in Louisiana, and he was 28 years in the House, and he actually authored the bill that that basically set up for the Constitution in Louisiana and the rights of the governor. And so from the get-go, when we've had this like mask situation and quarantine, blah, 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 he, of course, the person who actually put the bill in place, authored it, put it together, got it passed, he's like, you can't do that. That's unconstitutional. And so it's been like a fight ever since with him and all the legislators and what have you. And, you know, he was sharing about church pastors getting arrested and business people getting arrested and just all the different, you know, heroes that have stood up and actually just not worn a mask and said, we're not doing this. We're living our lives. But him and I were just talking because it was like, this came out yesterday and like, I put it out and I'm telling people and I'm getting like a mix. Like some people are like, yay. And then some other people are like, oh, well, but is that safe? Like, and they're worried. And it's like, it's lifted, like literally as of today, we don't have to wear a mask in the state of Louisiana. And I wonder if I'll go out there and see people wearing masks. I'm just like,
probably a lot of people. You got to remember, people are living in fear, and that's the whole thing. The Biden administration is going towards. You got two people operating at a whole different are operating on two different sides here. You got people operating out of negativity and fear and victimization, which is the Democrat Party, and then you got Trump operating out of positivity, prosperity, and abundance. Okay, so those are the two mindsets you got battling each other. It's literally two sides of the mind, and the liberals represent the service to self. And this is my opinion. This is how I see it, and this is just me saying. I'm just going to be cut and dry. I'm going to always be cut and dry in these interviews. They're operating out of fear. Okay, that's what they're operating out of. I don't operate that way. I was a champion boxer. I don't operate out of that. You know, and that's what makes me so mad is like, you're not going to dictate my life because you want to live in your basement and then put a mask over your face for the rest of your life. Hey, if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. Go do it. But you can't make me do that. I'm healthy. I love breathing oxygen. I love smiling. I love going out and talking to people. I love shaking hands. You're not going to bring me into bondage because you want to live like a Smeagol, you know? So, you know, I'm being serious. It's disgusting. They're disgusting. And they're gonna bring me down with them. No, thank you. I mean, man, when I see the mass Nazis come up to me and try to say something, man, I have to pull myself back so I don't assault somebody because I'm a fighter and I get really pissed off. And like when someone tries to come up to me, when I know they're gonna say something about my mask, I look at them and I go, take your mask off when you're talking to me. And they look at me like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? And I'm not scared of a confrontation. They are messing with the wrong dude. So I mean, they stay away from me in El Paso pretty much. El Paso made national news for the spikes going up and COVID tracing, and they have these guys going out. Yeah, they're going out now giving citations to people, and the mayor is allowing this. To me, he is treasonous, and he needs to resign. If you're enforcing these unconstitutional mandates, you're an enemy to the state. You're an enemy to the United States of America. You need to resign. He should leave leave the country. Almost dropped another F-bomb on your show. I get pissed. I'm sorry. I don't like this, man. Since when does society become like this? Since when are we so scared of everything and sheep and we just are so domesticated and emasculated and toxic masculinity and this and that, and forget it. I'm not taking part in this. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. And I'm not scared. I'm not going to live my life in fear and hide out in my basement.
Yeah. And then going back to the censorship thing, I don't know, I think 50 something removed. I've been in 30 days jail here. I was removed from all groups for 72 hours.
Why are they censoring you if you know, people say, well, they're censoring you for this and that? No, they're censoring us because we're speaking truth. That's the only reason they're censoring us. Yeah, because we're shining light. We're shining light on this darkness, and they want to keep people in darkness. Yeah, so they censor the light.
You mentioned, I think I saw something that you had posted even weeks ago where you were like, I'm definitely being censored. I'm definitely being shadow banned because, you know, I know for me, we have 32,000 people on our page, and it shows a line.
100 likes.
Well, it's not just the likes, but it actually shows you how many people can see that post, and it's like 8, 9. So out of 32,000 people
crazy.
who have chosen by will to follow and get notifications and be able to see something in my feed, only 8 out of 32,000 people are going to be able to even have that opportunity.
It's criminal.
So they're hiding anything that's truth right now because I guess they, like you said, it's the dam, and they're just like,
Yeah, but they're gonna lose. I'm convinced they're gonna lose, man. I'm like, it's gonna be a tough fight, because they're so deceptive and they're evil. And when you operate out of evil, they'll do anything to hide anything. When you're hiding things from the public, that's evil. It's evil. Sorry. And so nothing should be kept secret. All of humanity should have free will to know what's going on. And when they're censoring and hiding things, that's just they're operating out of an evil place. So to me, it's like, you should get on Wimkin and Parlor. I mean, anyone who's following this, please join me at Nino Boxer on Parlor or Wimkin. And I think ultimately after this election, after the post-election, Trump wins this. I think big tech's in trouble, and I think Wimkin and Parlor are just going to explode.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I see it's going.
I haven't actually dived into that yet. I think that's something I need to do as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm already telling everybody on my platforms to go to Wimkin and Parlor, and if the same thing happens there, then there'll be another alternate platform. But I'm definitely not going to stick around on Facebook when I'm being treated like I live in communist China.
Yeah, it doesn't meet communist standards. It's like
Right.
it says community.
And the fact checkers are just so, oh my gosh.
So what did you think about? What did you think about the debate and the whole? Did you hear the part where they were talking about masks until 2022? Did you hear that?
Good luck with that. I ain't gonna wear them. Yeah, they're operating out of fear. And people don't really know what's going on with the COVID thing. It's like the whole you could go to the hospital with flu symptoms, okay, and they could be the flu. Take a test, which is a false positive. 90% of them are false positive. There's people making videos all over the internet of them swabbing their dog, swabbing a table, swabbing their kitchen sink.
Cucumbers.
What's that?
Cucumber.
Yeah, anything, and it comes up positive. So you go to the hospital and you have an ailment, anything, cancer, COPD, you don't feel good, you have a headache, you got a fever. It could be anything during the flu season. They give you a test. It'll be a false positive COVID test. Okay, so now you're positive for that. Then they list you as COVID. Okay, then they don't give you the right. They don't follow up with the right measures to make you better for whatever ailment you really had. They have to treat you like you have COVID. You get more sick, and then people are dying. And so this is the biggest hoax on America right here it is, on the world, for an agenda. It's for an agenda, and people do not see this. And like, oh, my uncle died. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he died, but and I understand that he died, and I feel sorry for him. But I'm pretty sure there was other ailments and other things involved, and it wasn't COVID. So people ask me, well, do you believe the disease exists? I believe the disease exists, but not the pandemic. And this whole thing that's going on, that they're perpetrating on the American people is an agenda. It's an agenda to take away our rights, put us into bondage. And people can't seem to understand this concept when it's in your face. Look where we're at right now. Did you think we were going to be here a year ago, 2 years ago? We're here. And people do not see that this is going to escalate into further bondage. They don't see it. They're blind. And they listen to the government. They listen to the mayor. They listen to everyone putting these mandates. And they take it like they're taking it in the ass. And I tell everybody, they're taking away your rights on purpose through medical tyranny. That's what you're going through right now. And these city reps that are doing this should be held accountable. They should be rude. They should probably be in jail. They should be thrown in jail for this.
Yeah, I mean, when I was just talking to Woody a second ago, he was talking about, how I had said something to him like, because they just mentioned this 2020, and I've seen data like on paper where it's actually going up to 2025 with the mask stuff. And
no, this is not going to end. This will never, if they have it their way, there is no end in sight.
And my point was, if we had been told this in March, which I don't wear a mask either, but there's some people, I think, that if they were told up front, hey, you're going to be in quarantine, you're going to have to wear a mask for the next 5 years, I think they would have been like, what? or even
Yeah.
2 years, I think they'd have been like, no, I'm sorry. Let me look into this. But because they were like, oh, it's just for a couple weeks.
No, that's how people are seeing it. That you're right. People look at it like, oh, just comply, just so you don't get hassled. Just what you're. Come on, man, be polite. Don't make grandma and grandpa sick. That's how they look at it. That's how they're pitching it to people, like courtesy. Like, oh no, you don't want to make. Since when does a government give two shits about grandma and grandpa? Never. That's just the excuse they're using. I mean, use your common sense.
Yeah, I was just somewhere and someone was with me and was like, just put on the mask. What's the big deal about just like wearing it for a couple of minutes or whatever? And I was like, because it goes against every single thing in my cells for
Yeah,
what is
me too.
true. I just cannot,
Because you're getting into the establishment.
participating. Yeah, it's participating in something that's actually not true.
It's participating in this lunacy, in this insanity.
Yeah, I actually wore one yesterday, David, because I went to go vote and they wouldn't even let me vote without a mask on. And I was just telling this guy a few minutes ago, I was like, I was standing in line and all these people were in line on their X's and moving like robots. Bless their heart. I'm so thankful that they're voting and I'm loving that the lines are so long everywhere, every day. And it was I literally was sitting there going like, what world am I in? Like, what is this even real? Like everyone, just doing their thing, getting in line, it just seemed so like science fiction, honestly.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
seemed
this is
like
stranger
a
than
terrible, terrible movie.
Yeah, this is we're living in the strangest reality ever. This is like an alternate reality. Like, how did we get here? I mean, it's yeah, that's another reason Trump is going along with the masks narrative right now, because he wants people to get out and vote. Otherwise he wouldn't. There's a reason why he got COVID and cured it and was like, hey guys, I'm better. He's showing everybody this is a joke.
Yeah, even his son and even Melania, like all three of them got it, and all three of them are still alive.
They're showing people they're living by example. Like, hey, we're not living in fear. We're okay. I called this even before it happened. I called this way before it happened.
So you mentioned, and I know we've talked off camera a few times and keep in touch a bit. I know personally how I've had like really, really like days where it's like, is anything ever going to happen? And then I get super spike, like, okay, new evidence comes out and all this stuff happens. I'm like, okay, game time, maybe something's going to happen, and then
the
like,
deep state answers back, boom,
and nothing happens. And then it's like, oh, I'm excited, and then nothing happens, and it's just like roller coaster of stuff. Like, how do you personally deal with, because I know everyone has their ways, and also congratulations for being sober and getting rid of the alcohol, because that has been a thing for most people to either jump on board with whatever exit type escape type thing, where there's video games or overeating or over drinking or starting smoking or drugs or domestic abuse. All of that's going sky high. People are killing themselves, literally cancel clear. But like, tell me what you're doing just to keep yourself. I know I see you in nature and you're going out doing, like, tell me, help us know what we can do too to kind of maintain like sanity.
Well, I could easily go to the bar, and everyone knows I love to drink. So I could easily go to the bar and start doing those shenanigans again easily. Believe me, it's right now would be the time to do it. Yeah, when you feel helpless and you feel down and you're bogged down with depression. But here's the difference between me and other people. I'm a champion and I make champion decisions. And this champion decision I made this time is to stay away from alcohol, because I knew that ultimately it would be first of all, I knew it would be my demise. Second, we're in a critical time right now, and I feel like I need to lend my voice to this and be somebody that people can look at to listen to, because a lot of people don't even know where to go to get information. And since I have this knowledge here and I have everything in my soul, alcohol was the number one, is a common denominator to all my problems in my life. And I have had a lot of problems. I am no better than anybody else. I've just every time I've been in jail, every time I've been in a street fight, every time anything bad is always alcohol. So I knew during this time that we're going through in history, And in my life, in my personal life, I had to put away that demonic gateway. I call it a demonic gateway, and just put it away. And the longer I stay away from it, the more I realize I don't need it. And I am now in a place where I'm putting these videos out. These videos that I put out, whether people like them or hate them, I wouldn't be doing it if I was drinking. I would be at the bar getting wasted, and everyone would be my friend. I've made more enemies with these videos than anything, because when I'm the drinking Dave, everyone, all my drinking buddies call me to go to the bar and hang out and do all that stuff. And, no one says anything to me there because I'm the drunk guy. I'm the fun drunk guy. But now that I'm being controversial and I'm putting these videos out, oh yeah, I got trolls. I got people sending me bad emails now and then. But but I feel like it's my duty as a patriot and as a citizen of America, of this planet, to put these out, because I can see the game being played. And it'd be a disservice to people if I just hid away and got drunk at the bar. So if people are dealing with this kind of stuff and they're contemplating suicide and they want to go drink and do drugs, hey, welcome to the club. I was there too. I was there. I was in a bad place, but now putting away that substance, that liquor,
Dependent.
that
Yeah.
yeah, like putting that away. My life, although it's stressful, I'm not. There's no guarantee stress is going to go away, but I can handle it now. I have the tools to handle it, and I have a clear conscience, and I feel good in my soul. My aura is better. I'm shining brighter because I don't have that substance fogging up my aura and clouding up my aura. I feel like a better person. I'm more intuitive. I have my spidey senses all working overtime.
Sharp.
Yeah,
Sharp. Yeah.
and also I sleep. I have these amazing dreams. Um, I get downloads when I wake up. I get a massive download from source. Your senses heighten, and I think if people are battling with that, like, hey, I'm also someone who battles with that. I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody. I'm just choosing not to drink because it will be my demise. I will die or go to jail, and I had to look at that. I had to look at my demons straight in the eyes and decide: do I want to die or go to jail? I'm not scared of death. I've died twice. Believe me, the places I was at in my life, I wanted to die. I didn't want to be alive anymore. I was over it. I was over it, and alcohol was keeping me there. So when I gave that up, my life turned around 100%, and I give all glory to God. All glory to God for that, but I had to do my part. I had to do my part. It's free will. I had to do my part. Put down the bottle. I had to put down the bottle in order to improve my life, and God has been holding my hand, improving my life every day, and I give all glory to God.
Well, I know that you've been a huge encouragement to so many people, because I think there's a lot of like closet silent drinkers who aren't necessarily at a bar in a bar fight, but they're waiting for their kids to go to bed so they can get at their second, third, fourth glass of wine, and like struggling to get up and doing whatever just to cope. And this is no judgment at all. Believe me, we all have our things. So I'm just
Yeah, I
saying
understand it 100%. I'm one of those people.
to,
I'll
to
always be one of those people. It's not, see, that's the thing. That's the misconception about all this. They think like, oh, I'm better than you. I'm holier than thou now. No, I'm struggling with them. I'm just making the choice not to do it. That's all it takes, guys. Just say, no, I'm not going to do it. And, when you feel like you got to drink, do some push-ups and sit-ups, run in place, go take a walk outside, take a walk, listen, and I can be honest on your show, right?
yeah.
Okay. So if I'm with my friend, when I go to like Austin or I'm partying with my friends or whatever, and they're drinking and getting heavy, I have no problem with taking a hit of a blunt and putting it down and just relaxing, kicking back, looking at the boats on the lake and just relaxing. And that's it. I won't go any further than that. I don't go any further off the deep end than that. And that's rarely, because I still love hanging out with my friends. I still am a social person. I still want to be around my buddies. I love to socialize, but I'm not going to drink. And they can't believe it. When I go out with them to the parties and stuff, and we go to clubs and stuff, and I'm sitting there with a glass of water, they're like, dude, how do you do this? And I'm like, cuz man, I love who I am now. I love what God has done for me. I'll never turn my back on God. I'll never turn my back on God. And God's really improving my life. But it took me taking the first step of putting down the bottle.
Well, and speaking of God, because obviously we both have that spiritual connection. One of the things that I get a lot, and I mean, I just did an interview yesterday with Dr. Jason Dean, and I don't know how many things were like, someone had said, well, I'm so glad that God's going to take care of this. I'm just trusting God, and we're just praying for the outcome. And, what do you say to people who, because you said, well, the difference between you and everybody else is you make champion decisions and you're a champion boxer. But what about the average actual person who isn't a champion boxer? They still have the
They
opportunity,
can still
right?
make the decisions. That's the only thing. It's just a decision. It's like anybody can make that decision. It's literally a decision to be made.
And with this politics thing,
My sister died of alcoholism. I watched my sister die. She died at 44 years old from cirrhosis and many other ailments that alcohol brought on her. I watched her die. Last 5 years of her life was terrible. So that is embedded in my head. And although I wanted to die, I didn't want to do that to my parents. I didn't want to have them lose two kids, and that's how bad of a place I was at, So I
I'm so
was just as
sorry.
bad as anybody, and there really is no excuse. The only excuse is the only thing anybody can really do is make that conscious decision themselves and say, look, analyze your life and think to yourself, where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in a year? And take the leap of faith. And then there's that old saying, take the leap of faith and the net will appear. Man, there's nothing more true than that. If you could take the leap of faith and you're going to lose friends, you're going to be bored, you're going to be sitting at home watching TV, having stress, panic attacks. It sucks. I know, I've been through it, but it gets better the longer you go. And if you could just tough out the first 60, 90 days, 100 days, it gets easier. And then just other people start getting attracted to you. You start bringing in different people into your life because you're operating at a different vibration and frequency. Trust in the plan. You got to trust in the plan. You can't just be like, oh, this isn't working out. It's only been 20 days. It's only been 40 days. No, trust in it. Keep going. You're going to lose friends. But those friends don't do you any justice. Then you'll start attracting more and more different kinds of people that operate on your vibrational energy. And you'll bring that into your life. I'm bringing in all kinds of new people that I'm like, wow, these are great people, man. I would have never known these people if I would have been drinking.
Yep. Yeah, and it's interesting is Trump has never drank at all. Like, talk about a champion. I mean,
Yeah, that guy.
He's not. And so going back to what I was talking about the people who in the political thing of whether they're Christian or whatever, and they're just like, well, we're just praying and we just hope that God's got this, and we're just hoping that Jesus is going to take the wheel here. And what do you say to people who are literally dependent on someone else doing something else?
God isn't pleased with complacency.
God is in control, though, David.
God is control, but absolutely. But we are extensions of God. We are co-creators. You know what I'm saying? So I think God looks, I don't picture God as this dude in the clouds with beard and a pair of testicles. Okay. I look at him as source energy, as intelligent super consciousness. And if we choose to say, oh, God's got this, and not turn this car around the direction we're going, then yeah, God's got this. He's going to let it go the way it needs to go. But if people take control and say no and pray and say, Lord, help us steer this in the right direction, then God, I believe in intervention. I believe God will step in and be like, you know what? I'm going to give them mercy. I'm going to have grace upon these people, and turn this boat around. It's not time yet. It's not time yet, and I think that's where we're at. And I don't believe God smiles on complacency.
Wow,
there's too many doomsday people, man, saying like, oh, it's just what God wants. God doesn't want negative crap to happen to people and humanity. Well, that's how you learn the lesson. It's like, no, I believe I've seen miracles happen. I know miracles can happen. I've seen them. And I know that I should have died. And so I know miracles are real, and it takes faith, it takes faith. And I really do believe in a loving super energy God. And I believe that we all need to tap into it and, know that none of us are perfect. I'm the most imperfect dude there is. So if he can have mercy on my life, I know he can direct this ship into a more positive place for humanity. And I feel that in every fiber of my soul.
Well, if anything, you have complete, like, not only with the choices that you've made it with your nutritional, drinking, whatever. You made this choice to step out and do that first video. And I had interviewed you right away after that first one went viral, having to do with Hollywood and what have you. And you were just like, oh, I'm not going to do this. This is just this one thing. I think it was like the second interview that I had with you, and you were like so adamant, like, no. I'm going back to boxing. This is just the thing right now. And then there was a next and a next and next, and you've just kind of blown up. Well, you got a show with Laura Eisenhower now. You just signed up this other show. You just signed a contract. Tell us about the new contract. I mean, as much as it's been crazy with everything that's been going on, I can see just personally with you just stepping out, taking risks, making choices, changing some things, saying no to this and saying yes to that, that this has caused doors to open. Like you were talking about with God and that grace thing. It's like, pray, ask for strength, do the things, but take the steps too. And now look, like you're going to have your own show too, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
They're putting me on a platform with Apple, Roku, and Amazon, and I signed with Republic Digital. And, it's I can't believe the doors that have opened up for me. But look, my first instinct when all this happened with the first video I did was to made me very uneasy, and I was like, I didn't like the feeling, right? So it's like, okay, I did my part, I hit the wasp nest, and I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and like retreat and never be seen again. Yeah, but it didn't work that way. I prayed about it, and I was told to step into my power. And it's like, I felt like God told me, like, I didn't make a coward. You're not a coward. If you're able to step in the ring and do the things you got to do, then trust the process, trust the plan. I didn't make a coward. So I did it. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And honestly, like, the more I do this, the only problem that I see is that I'm getting more pissed off. Mm-hmm. I get more, but I'm a fighter, man. I get that anger, man. And I got to control it, but it's like, I hate to see such negligence and complacency and brainwashing.
Yeah.
And that's what frustrates me, is the brainwashing, that's
because like you said at the beginning, you're like, I don't get how people can't see. I mean, this has been our ongoing conversation for months, is like, how do they not see? And no judgment. I'm not trying to be mean and make anyone wrong. It just literally baffles me that I'm like looking at something and they completely see something. How are they seeing something completely opposite from me? I don't know.
Yeah, polar opposite, man. I mean, there are people that think that Trump is like the Antichrist. I mean, and you're not going to really change their minds, and so I've kind of let that go. I've kind of just had to accept that there's always going to be a direct polar opposite, but I know how this works. I know how this game plays out. I really feel that it's going to be a tough battle and there's going to be a lot of deception, but I feel like we're on the winning side. I really do. I feel that it's going to be a lot of deceit that's already happening, a lot of censorship, but I still feel we're going to pull through. I just do. I just feel like we're going to pull through this. But I get, every day, like when I do a video or whatever for people, people can tell. People can look at my videos and be like, oh, this guy's, I'm negative that day, or I'm bogged down with heavy energy, because not every day I feel good. I'm having my own battles with sobriety. So, that those mood swings come with it.
Yeah, I can tell you, I mean, if it wasn't for like you and Laura and a few other people where I'm just like, okay, I'm struggling, and I just send a text or whatever, and I'm just like, I mean, those days, I mean, I literally could just stay in bed and just cry, because I'm like, why aren't the arrests happening? Why isn't, whatever, just in my mind of how I think the timeline should be so much faster, or, but I just, thank God for friends and
we're
people.
battling a lot of evil, though. The deep state is deep, and there are a lot of people that have turned. They're putting a lot of blocks on things, and the first arrest can't happen until the last investigation is done. So there's a lot going on. So there's a lot of roadblocks and things like that. But stay the course, because I feel we're going to do this. I feel we're going to pull through. I feel like it's like the 10th, 11th round, maybe even the final round. And I can taste victory, and it's like, yeah, it's been a tough fight, but I know I'm gonna crack this. I know he's about to go down, and I can sense that. And when I can feel the opponent and about to go down, this is when they pull out all the stops, just like what the deep state's doing, censoring, doing this, getting behind the referee, taking a knee, whatever they got to do. And it's like, I got you. You're done. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. That's where we're at right now. We got them up against the ropes,
Awesome.
and it's about to happen. So, and I got that fighter instinct where I know I got this son of a bitch. So let's get them.
Well, I appreciate your authenticity. I appreciate your willingness to go out there and to be courageous and to be that champion you are. I think it was like 2 decades ago, I heard a saying that has just stuck with me. I actually have it really, really big on my wall. It says, champions are not born in the ring, they're made there, which to me, it just shouts out that there are things that you may go through, and also choices to keep going, and choices to even make the will and action to do some stuff. And that's how we see victory. That's how anyone in history has actually made a name for himself and made the big changes for the whole planet or the state. It's like we have to stand up. And I don't care if whoever's watching, obviously not everyone is a champion boxer, but every one of you has a voice. Every one of you can speak up, then make choices and make decisions and throw the mask out. Or if you want to wear the mask, wear the mask. My thing is,
yeah, I'm not, listen, I don't go up to people that are wearing them and be like, how dare you wear, why do they feel compelled they have to tell me something for not wearing one? I'm not bothering you. Get out of my face. Leave me alone. Go hide somewhere. That's how you want to operate. Go do that. I'm not going up to you and telling you anything. I'm not your 5-year-old son. Don't come up and tell another adult what they should be doing for their body. I don't go up to crackheads and say, hey, you shouldn't be smoking crack. Hey, man, that's their prerogative. They do what they do. I don't bother them. I don't bother people that smoke cigarettes. Don't bother me. Leave me alone. And if you bother me and get in my personal space, we're going to have problems. We're going to have major problems. So don't come up to me and tell me what I should or should not be doing. Yeah. I'm going to take care of myself. I've survived in the ring almost 40 fights. I don't need your lecturing. Okay, leave me alone. That's just it. That's all I'll end this. Leave me alone.
I have a feeling that you probably don't have a whole lot of people messing with you.
Oh, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. There's been some people, but they get a taste. I fire right back at them. I can't take it, dude. It bothers me. It makes me sick.
I'm very glad to hear that. I wish everyone could grow a pair and actually stand up like that and just have that that feeling of just the injustice, the holy injustice that rises up, that passion. It's like, no, you move. I'm doing my thing, but you move, you do your thing. But
yeah, just leave me alone, man. Just don't bother me, and now the mayor gonna have these people giving out citations. Oh man.
Well, tell us how we can connect with you further, because I know a lot of people are new to you. There's been several people who've been following along with every interview that I've done with you in the past, but I've picked up quite a few thousand new people since I've talked to you last, and I'd love to connect them with you.
David Nino Rodriguez Official, Rodriguez with a Z. David Nino Rodriguez Official on Instagram. And then on YouTube, it's David Nino Rodriguez. And that's it. I mean, just David Nino Rodriguez, and you can Google me and find all the other stuff, I guess.
I'll actually get all of your links and I'll post it up in here too, so everybody can just have something very easily to click to that.
Can you send me this file too, so I can put it up on my
Absolutely. Instagram? I will send you all of this stuff and we'll get it all straight to you, so you guys can do whatever you want. In the meantime too, make sure, if you guys are not already following me, to follow me. I'm on Twitter and Facebook and all the different Instagram, all that. Now I say do all of it because if one goes down, at least you can find me somewhere else and I can give you the information to what we're doing. Swiftfire.org. Swiftfire.org is my actual website where you can get my newsletter and at least be connected on that level. So if this all poofs into nothing, then we can actually still all connect with each other and all of that stuff. So Thank you guys for your time today. Thank you, David. I know you're headed out of town. I appreciate your
Yeah,
time.
I'm going to Santa Fe.
What are you doing over there? What's you just hanging out, getting
I'm
some
just gonna go hang out in the woods and like contemplate my life.
solve the world problems in nature?
Yeah, I'm gonna just go be in nature.
I love every now and then when I talk to you, you're like, I'm on a boat, I'm in the whatever, I don't have a walk. It's like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we have to have some sort of like,
Yeah, it's either that, either I go drive to Santa Fe or Taos or Cloudcroft or in the mountains, or I go to the bar. I gotta go. I can't go to the bar, so I gotta go. You gotta have other things to take the place.
yes,
Fishing. I
replace,
go fishing. I like to go fishing.
do positive things. Everybody get out there and get into nature, get grounded, take your shoes off and like walk in the grass or the dirt or the sand or get in the ocean, do something positive today and keep shining and go be actively loving to everyone that you can and actually make some wise decisions for our country, please, and for your world. So talk to you guys soon. Thanks again, David.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thanks.
You too.